In this episode, I'm rolling with George and Max. Anybody that watches the channel is very familiar with both characters. I have rolls with George from when he was a new white belt up until what I would consider a seasoned blue belt. We don't really do the stripes in my school. So here we're starting standing up. We start every class standing up, but we don't go crazy. It's like a non-competitive stand-up just to get warmed up. We're not doing that now, but I'm mentioning it. So we started from standing. George pulled guard. He's a smart guy. We always have good conversations. We actually went to see Jordan Peterson together. Or should I say he treated me to Jordan Peterson, which was an awesome experience. And now I'm in his semi-open guard with his left leg hanging and like a weak low knee shield that he's keeping. All inefficient positions. It doesn't mean you can't fight out of them if you know where you're trying to go or whatever, but just the initial structure of the position is compromised. So now he's doing a better job. He has both his feet on my hips at least. Now what he could do is sink that right foot and butterfly sweep me. But now that he's employing a knee shield as I do a knee cut to the other side. So the key is always to go back and forth. That definitely opens up guard passes. There I'm doing the staple pass, and he's framing. Again, he might be able to hold me off like this for a while, but he's using a lot of energy. So it's how much energy do you want to put into supplying that position, supplying that front line? Or should you put it somewhere that's more effective? So there I threatened a toe hold. Now I'm looking to just float over his legs while holding his left foot. Again, that's like a little bit experimental because he's still able to keep that right leg in. But this doesn't take any effort from me. I'm just laying on him like a wet blanket. He has to hold up my weight. My 175 pounds. So there I was able to push his thigh to the side, make a new angle, go to mount, and spin to my favorite position. Now, I don't think I talk too much during these rolls, but with George, we definitely talk more. So here I have him in basically a bow and arrow choke, my own modified version. But I'm not finishing it. I'm doing this on purpose. I want him to escape. Or I want him to start to see the pathway down what would be an escape. I'm doing all this without really telling him. See right there? I could easily finish. But I think I'm talking smack a little. Again, we have a great rapport. We've been training together since he started. So I just want to give him a chance to get out of this. Because if you sit in a certain position, eventually they'll figure it out. My father used to say he wouldn't show me a magic trick 2 or 3 times in a row. Because I'd say, let me see that again. Let me see that again. And he'd say, no, I can only show you once. And I didn't understand why. It was because I'd figure it out. So, I have him in a very compromised position. Again, I could finish at any time, but I'm not pulling in a manner that doesn't give him a chance. I'm not crushing him. I'm not hurting him. See there, he should have got to his knees. Oh, and that's what he ends up doing naturally. I might have told him to do that. So there I tried a sweep which he avoided. A sweep that I love, by the way. A very powerful sweep. So here I'm in my typical arm drag him by, give him that arm drag dilemma. So if he squares up, I go for the kimura. See, I just want to make one point of contact because I'm not playing competitively, right? I just slid in there like casually without even points of connection, using just my grip on the collar to kind of like either fend him off or slide away from him, use it to slide away as he pushes in. So here it looks like I'm initiating a De La Riva. This is kind of like an in-between guard. I was looking for the spider guard on the right side, but I don't know if he defended on purpose, but that ends the round. So there, I'm going to include all the rolls with George. I have many rolls. I mean, probably, I don't know, 8 or 9 rolls with George. So I'll include those in the description. And now here comes Max. Max is a handful. He's a little smaller than George, but he is very naturally athletic. His balance is excellent. So here, as you can see, I'm working already on one arm. I'm using 2 arms on one arm. And with my foot on his hip, it's almost like 3 limbs on one limb. If he squares up, I sweep him. But again, I want to do all of this with no effort. So there I'm looking to do my typical wrestle up, but he was able to resist and push me back down. But I'm in a very comfortable position. I have 3 points of connection, and I'm looking for a 4th point with my right leg. See, I was looking for that sweep. That's why I have my left leg in what looks like a position where it's not doing anything. I was wondering why I had it there. See, I'm always able to get behind that arm. Again, very slowly and incrementally. I'm not doing it in an explosive manner. I'm doing it in a way where he knows it's coming. And remember what I said before? He'll square up to defend that, and then I get the kimura. That's just part of what I do. I mean, if you watch the channel, you've seen that before. Yes. That was a really clean version of it. And believe me, Max is not easy to submit. And I wasn't ripping it out, so I had a good bite on it technique-wise. Once you break that grip, it's easy to just go very slowly and incrementally and finish the kimura. So here, I'm older. I'm trying to keep up with him. He's athletic and he's relentless. Now, by keeping up with him doesn't mean maintaining his pace. It means slowing him down to my pace. So now I have a double wrist control that he can't get off. And he's struggling, whereas for me, see my arm positioning? That doesn't take a lot of effort. See his arm position? Picture if we had an arm wrestle from there. Who would win? Big muscles versus little muscles. So here he's trying to figure out my guard. He's turning his hip. These are things that work to an extent. Really, he needs to address that foot. Exactly. So he just did that. But while he's addressing one foot, my other foot's going. A guard is being able to think of multiple things at once, multiple formulas, multiple calculations, micro calculations. So there I just swept him, and then when he bounced right back up and came at me, and I hit him with the butterfly. Again, it's just about controlling one arm and using the butterfly hook on the other side to sweep, to kick him up, because he can't base out. And then I followed him because I wanted to maintain that top position. I threw him a little too far, but he came at me quickly, and it just ended up being like that. I told him, I said, that was like professional wrestling. But I made him start on his back. There was a little confusion. I go, no, start on your back. And he started sitting up, but that's not where the position was. So I'm trying to remember that, you know. When you go out of bounds or you have to reset, start from that last position. Or at least that's what I keep telling myself. So here I'm in his closed guard. Now he's got like his left leg hanging. His left leg's doing absolutely nothing to stop me. If I wanted to, I could just get my right arm and swing it under there and just do like somewhat of a stack pass. So I think that his guard passing is better than his guard, which is common. I think most people develop the passing aspect first, right? Because it's a little bit easier to practice. If you're on top trying to get around someone's legs, that's a little easier than being on your back and not knowing anything. As you could see, there were some kung fu hand movements there. That's all structural arm positioning. You could almost see the form in it. The talu, the kata. See right there, that's an arm block in Wing Chun. It's a structurally right there as well. Those are two different arm blocks. I went from one to the other. Who could name those arm blocks that watches this channel? And yes, I know the names. I did Wing Chun for a long time. Well, 10 years. So that ends the round. Thank you for watching. If you want to help support the channel, I have an ex-martial link in the description. Anything you buy is 15% off using code JITS50. You could get my rash guard right now for $60. That's shipping included. Or after calculations, after the discount. Or you could just buy me a coffee. Both links are in the description. The links to Max's roles and George's roles will also be in the description. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, and if you haven't already, subscribe.